In this lesson, we will cover how to use Excel 2007 to create and graph a frequency distribution of collected data. In order to simplify things, I've taken a small sample of the 100 leaf measurements that were collected. I have 20 here. We will go through the leaf length frequency distribution in this video, then you will follow the same steps to do the width frequency distribution on your own. Now the first step is to determine the number of intervals and the interval range. This is asking how many pieces do you want to divide your data into, and how big should those pieces be. To determine this, you will consider how many data points you have and the range between the extremes of the data. For this exercise, I've decided to use 6 intervals, each of them being 1 centimeter. These numbers tell Excel how to divide the data and are used to create ranges within the data. The first range will include everything up to and including the first interval. In our case, it is 1.9 and everything less than that. The next range will be everything greater than the first interval up to and including the second interval. And because this data is only specific to 1 decimal point, the second range, is 2 to 2.9. This carries through for each data range until the last interval, and the final range will be everything greater than the last interval. In our case, greater than 7. And I will now type in the data ranges corresponding to each interval. And remember to include the very last range of greater than 7. Now we can create a frequency distribution. First, select one more cell than you have intervals, or a cell for each of the data ranges we've entered. Then type the equal sign and begin to type the word frequency. Excel will recognize your commands and give you options. When you can see the frequency option, double-click on it, and this will open the formula. Now select your data, and you'll see that this enters the cells into the formula. Type a comma, and now select your intervals. Type a close parentheses, and press and hold the Shift and Control keys, and while still holding them, press Enter. And now we have a chart representation of the frequency distribution of leaf length. To create a graph, select the relevant data points and go to the Insert ribbon. Click Column in the Chart section and select any of the clustered options. These are the first of each of these different types. I will choose the clustered cylinder. This creates the graph, but we still need to label it. First, we will add a title. Go to the Layout ribbon under Chart Tools. Click on Chart Title in the Labels category and select Above Chart. Now type the title of the graph into the text entry form and press Enter. And now we will insert the axis titles. Click Axis Titles, Primary Horizontal Axis Title, and then select Title below Axis. Type in the X-axis title. Click the Axis Titles again. This time go to Primary Vertical Axis and Rotated Title. Then type in the Y-axis title. You'll notice that the references on the X-axis are generic, just numbering the ranges 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can change this to represent the actual data on the chart. To do this, right-click on the chart and choose Select Data from the context menu. On the right side of this new window where it says Horizontal Category Axis Labels, click Edit. Select the ranges that we entered corresponding to the data in the graph. Click OK and click OK again, and that finishes our graph of the frequency distribution of leaf length. Now repeat this procedure with the leaf width data to create a frequency distribution of leaf width.